Right, so I'm trying something new. I've seen a lot of these being done at the moment. It seems to be the in thing to do. Tier lists. But I find that most of the tier lists, it's people listening to 10 other people with the same opinions. No one wants to be controversial, no one wants to shy away from the pack. Everyone's barring like a sheep. That's how I see it. So I've just downloaded this OBS crap. I've just had a play around. I'm just going to give this a go. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet era. This is my take on. I did a rant video the other day, but never uploaded it because I would have offended too many people. Pokemon investing is a load of rubbish. Buy anything, keep it in the cupboard for 10 years, it's going to go up in value. Whether that's a Mario game, whether that's a pair of trainers from Nike, whatever. Pokemon is the same. If you buy a £4 pack now, in 10 years' time, it's probably 50 quid. If you buy the ETB now for 50 quid, in 10 years' time, it's probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 700. It's not rocket science. But I'm listening to a lot of people saying what you should invest in because I've got this opinion. And it's like, mate, you've been in this since Scarlet and Violet. You literally came in as City in Flames. Or someone else, I've been doing this since Sword and Shield. Like, get a grip. It was only recently I sold a Wild Blaze booster box, Japanese, from 2014. I've still got my base set cards from 1999 that I packed myself from gambling as a 12-year-old. Like, I've been here ages. Everyone's opinion means nothing. If I told you sell your house, just buy Stellar Crown, it's an opinion. You've got to use your own brain to say, but Stellar Crown is absolutely crap. Why would I do that? If you've got any knowledge and you're not just here for the money here in the last 6 months, you should have some knowledge. And I'm going to use my knowledge, my opinion, my educated opinion, and I might do another video one day going through my biggest wins of collecting, my biggest regrets of collecting, selling at the wrong time, choosing not to buy something that I should have done, but I'm poor. I'm from a council estate. Like, I ain't made of money. Sometimes, do I want to buy this car for 600 quid or do I want a family holiday? That's my life. But I could take you through the best and worst of those. But coming back to the tier list, I'm going to start on Scarlet and Violet, and I'm going to give it a C. This is my opinion on the set as a whole. It's probably a direct correlation to should you invest or not, but I'll go through that as we go along. Scarlet and Violet is a good base set. Most base sets are terrible. It's a base set straight out the door that had illustration rares and special illustration rares. It's a winner. The Drowsy is fake hype. People are now investing in this set saying Drowsy was up to $100 at one point in time, £80. It's now dropped all the way down to like 25, 30. So it's bound to go back up. It was a buyout. There were Discord saying, right, everyone in here, there's 300 of us. If we all buy 20 copies, we can flood them up. It's a known thing. There's no reason it's going to go back. The Gardevoir line is great, but you might prefer the Gardevoir line from, is it Paldean Fates that's got the Gardevoir in? You might prefer that Gardevoir. If you've got money, you might be buying the Mega Gardevoir gold card from the Mega set a decade ago. There's some good cards in it, but anyone now buying cases and saying it's a great investment, it's the best set ever, it's only going to go up, you can't listen to that. If in let's say 5 years time, the average set in Scarlet and Violet is 3 to 4k a case, do you want to buy Scarlet and Violet base with Gardevoir and Drowsy, or do you want to go and buy Surgeon Sparks, the Pikachu, the Latias, the Latios, etc.? I mean, you just got to use your head and realise, yes, it's a good base set, but that doesn't mean it's a good set overall. In fact, if we go down to the ultra rares, yeah, who wants a worm? Who wants a whale? Pachirisu, no one wants it. Pawmot, no one wants it. My kid, she likes the dog. She likes the other dog. But down the years, are people going to be buying these dogs, or are they going to want Suicune, Raikou, Entei? Do you get what I mean? It's a fair set. I like the Sandile artwork. I'll be honest. but it's always going to be, what, a 5, 10, £20 card maximum. It's just not worth it. You go down to the big chasers. The Miraidon and the Correlates were £100 each on release. They're now probably 20, 25 quid each. Miriam's lost all the hype. We know how it works. The Japanese market go crazy for a teenage-looking girl. English collectors pump it to the same, and then it dies off after a little while. There is nothing in this set, to me, that is amazing. It's a middle-of-the-road set. It's a C. Then we've just got to go in the order that's here. Paldea Evolved. I'm going to put it as a B tier. Personally, not a fan. I like one card. And guess what? All of you, you're going to like one card. You want the Magikarp. It's Magikarp or bust. If this box gets to 500, 800, 1,000, 5,000 pound in 15 years' time, you're opening it for the Magikarp. And that's the only reason. You don't want Heracross, you don't want Tropius, you don't want Sprigatito. Like, if they're the free art rares that illustration rares that you get out your box, you're going, God, I've just spent X amount on that and that was all I got. What a load of rubbish. The Bax Caliber line was pumped at one point. Raichu's going to be popular, but who's going to want a non-textured illustration rare down the line? Like, theoretical. 5 years' time, this box is 900 quid. What's the Raichu worth in a 10? £200? Are you going to be happy that you pulled that out with Gothorita, Sandygast, and your box didn't have an special illustration rare in? No. People pump the Tyranitar. It's fine, but look at that. You see on all the porn sites, you see geezers doing the pose. That's the porn site pose. It's the same with the Groudon in the latest set. You've got to think about it. There's ways where you can look at cards and you can justify it's Groudon, he's popular. It's one of the most valuable cards in the set. Yeah, but look at it. It looks like he's posing for a nude selfie. It's Magikarp or bust. If you pull a Magikarp, you're happy. If you grade a Magikarp 10, you're happy. Outside of that, it's bad. But if you go through any big set in history, whether it's Crystal Charizard, whether it's the Moonbryon, whether it's the base set Charizard, if there's one card that people can get, that people can hunt, it'll always do well. To buy, to hold, I'll put it as a B. Me personally, it would be probably a C tier. It's a one card set for me, if I'm honest. Obsidian Flames. This is one of the big ones. I'm seeing quite a lot of people now pumping the Charizard set. It's Charizard. It has to go up. Look at the Charizard. I'll tell you what. We'll look at the Charizard, yeah? The Charizard is absolutely appalling. The set's appalling. The set value is low. I should have gone on the other website with the set value, but I think right now, for the price of 3 boxes, you can buy the entire set twice. Well, if you're going to go out and spend 600 quid and get possibly no secret special illustration rares in your entire opening of 3 boxes, or you can go out and buy 2 complete sets of it and guarantee yourself the big Charizard twice. There it is there. Why wouldn't you? And then going forward, if people let's go again, in 5 years' time, people are going, oh yeah, it's an £800 box. You open it, and you pulled the Poppy and the Ice Cube. You were chasing the Charizard. Right now, for every 3 boxes of this, you could guarantee yourself 2 Charizards. Look at the condition, grade it a 10. You're always chasing the biggest hit in the box, grade it in a 10. That's how you're going to get your value back. So why are people now buying a case of them, when most cases, it's hard. Some people say 1 special illustration rare per case, some will say 2 per case, some will say it's more than that. I haven't opened cases of this. I'm going more on the Sword and Shield pull rate. It was 1 or 2 per case on average. I can go into how I know that in another video. But let's say it is 2. Let's say you pulled the Pidgeot and the Revvaroom. You would be appalled, wouldn't you? Like, £200 a box, 1,200 quid on a case. And that's what you get when you open it. Or right now, you could probably buy the complete set 3 or 4 times over, and you get this 3 or 4 times over. If you've looked at the condition at a card show and it's good condition, you can have that in a PSA 10 3 or 4 times. I just don't see how this is a good set. And I'll tell you why it's not a good set. Who wants their Charizard looking like a Swarovski crystal sculpture? Who wants the crowns? The crowns are the worst gimmick in Pokemon ever. That is the big takeaway from Scarlet and Violet. This era of crowns is terrible. It's taken really for Megas to become popular. For Megas to now everyone's buying them up, whether it's Mega Hooper or Mega Charizard, whether it's Mega Blastoise or whether it's, I don't know, Mega Lucario. It's really taken 10 years and the promise that they're coming back to really get them going crazy. Who in their right mind in 10 years' time is going, oh, I wish they'd bring back a Pikachu that would look like a crystal and would have a silly crown on its head? No one's going to want it. Also, it's the Charizard set of the block. It has to do well. No, it doesn't. It's an awful set. It's a crystal crown Charizard. No one's ever going to want it. Let's go back to Sword and Shield. Oh, the Darkness Ablaze set. Oh, it's the Charizard set. It's bound to do well, because Charizard sets always do well, ever since base. It's still a £210 box. In 3.5, 4 years, it's gone up. If you got it for £100, you might have doubled your money now. It ain't going to double to 400 in the next year. It ain't going to be £1,000 a box within 3 to 5 years. Just because it's Charizard, it doesn't mean it's going to do well. The last good Charizard set, in my opinion, was World Blaze Japanese, Flash Fire English. And yeah, that's a 4K box now. The Japanese version I actually sold for £1,000 last August. I traded into 2 decent cards that have now, the 2 cards have exponentially gone up in value, which I could discuss on another video of like, here's the history of me and some of my better deals. That would be in that video if anyone wants to see. I bought the box for £100 a couple of years back, 2020. I sold it for £1,000, traded it for 2 cards. Those 2 cards now, I don't have them both, but they would now be worth probably £3,000. The box is still going for about 1,200 in Japanese. So I cashed out at the right time. I think you would agree. That is the best Charizard set. Be honest now. If anyone is telling you, buy a case of this, sit on a case of this, it's Charizard, it's bound to do well. The gimmick is awful. The Crystal, the Crown is terrible. There's nothing else in this set. The Eye's cute. It's a cool looking card, but it's worth a fiver. Lechonk, he's popular, but it's worth probably £8, £10. Larvitar. I love the Cleffa card. The Cleffa card is one of my top 5 illustration rares of the entire block. But who wants a baby Cleffa non-textured card? There's nothing in this. If you're spending £1,000 to £1,300 now for a case and you're advising people to do that, you need to have a good hard long look at yourself in the mirror, because when this mega set comes out in September and it's Mega Charizard, it could, imagine if they did 2 like Shinji Kanda Mega Evolutions. People associate those Mega Poncho Pokemon on Pikachu. They're like, oh, it's the black one. The Poncho Pikachu is now a 5, 6, 7 grand card. The black one's way better than the orange one. So the black one will probably, as always, Shiny Charizard is more preferred. In Paldea and Fates, we've basically got the same artwork, but in black. It's obviously worth more. You just have to look at it and go, there's not been a good Charizard set for a very long time. If any Charizard set is going to take off, it's probably going to be the Mega one in September. So why you would spend £1,200 for a case of this now and advise everyone, and there are sheep, there are people, if you said now, oh yeah, I think you should be buying Pokemon Go. If you've got 1,000 subscribers and you tell people about Pokemon Go, these morons will go and buy it. Like, I can't understand what you're doing telling people to do that. You're better off to wait, and if it comes out and it's an absolutely terrible set and the Megas look terrible, just wait. Buy an Evolution set. Spend £1,200 on a box of Evolving Skies. Buy £1,200 on 14 ETBs of Prismatic. If you believe the Evolution sets are better than the recent Charizard sets, don't buy this. It's terrible. That was a huge rant, but that is my God's honest opinion. Crowns and crystal looking Pokemon will never be popular, will never be a success, and anyone buying Obsidian Flame because it's Charizard, you're a muppet. Uh, oh God, have I lost? Oh no, we've lost it. Hold on. Right, 2 seconds back. Scarlet and Violet sets. As I said, this is my first time using this. So Obsidian Flames, for me, it's an F. I don't even care it's got Charizard in. F for fire, F is its rating. 151, I'm going to keep this nice and short. Personally, I pre-ordered a case of 10 booster bundles on release and 2 of the Pokemon Center ETBs. I cancelled my order when the artworks were announced. I didn't like the tiny little pink Charizard. I didn't like the Blastoise. He looked fat in the middle of the ocean. I said no. Do I regret it? Yes, as an investment, if that's what you want to call it, for me to have in my collection on the shelf, it would have looked nice now. I personally am not the biggest fan of the set. I think what Caterpie was it Poliwrath? Poliwhirl, Psyduck, the IRs, and obviously the Charmander, Bulbasaur, um, Squirtle line. I can see the appeal, but I think what they've done with the black and white set coming, where every single Pokemon gets an illustration rare or better, I think that's better. But you cannot deny 151, the original Kanto Pokemon, people of my age from 1999. It is the be all and end all set. And if that set, if you ever see it at retail price, if you see it like maybe someone has a bit of money troubles, booster bundles are 65 everywhere, they're doing them cheap for 58, 60. You're going to buy it all day, you know it's going to do well. I might not like the artwork of the set, but I can appreciate what it is. It's nostalgia. It's going to be talked about glowingly. It has to be an S tier set. Despite, for me, it wouldn't be personally. Um, I could argue it's an A because the prices are already starting to go up, but they seem to be really reprinting it at the moment. And if the rumours are true, and it does come down a bit, it has to be an S tier set. I will leave it there. It's an S tier for collecting long term. Me personally, it's a B tier set. I only have a what do they call it, an SPC and a Japanese booster box of it. I won't be buying any more. Don't care enough. Paradox Rift. This is one of the fun sets. Are you ready for this? Yeah. Paradox Rift. It's bad enough that we had the crown gimmicks with the crystal looking Pokemon. They can't do any worse. This is the worst gimmick we've had. The big giant Pokemon looked cool, and they had other smaller Pokemon around it in the VMAXs. Megas were quite cool. The gimmick of rainbow cards, at the start, rainbow cards were liked, but they brought out these crystal looking crown cards that I hated, and you can't get any worse than that this generation. And in the download content, they put in robot versions of, in my opinion, quite a lot of mediocre Pokemon. And then they also put in, there's an example, Slitherwing, Volcarova, if it was a prehistoric Pokemon. Like, when do you think anyone is going to want these Pokemon? We'll get on to the next set in a minute, but I want Volcarova, Slitherwing, and Iron Moth. Get out. There's a Groudon doing an awful pose again. Looks like he's in a men's bathroom, about to send a selfie to the bird he's having an affair with. People will go, but it's got Steelix, and Steelix is popular. Oh, look, Pachirisu and Minun, they're the Pikachu clones. No one cares about them. People only want Pikachu, and the only Pikachu clone they want is Mimikyu. It's like, no one wants this fish, but it's got a Staryu. Oh, Misty Staryu, that's popular. No one is ever going to want to collect that card. Look at this. It is terrible. All of it is terrible. And then you get to the big boys. Oh yeah, a pooled illustration rare. Roaring Moon is cool, but I promise you, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, people will always go. If Salamence from Journey Together is side by side with this, eventually people are going to go, God, that Roaring Moon was weird, wasn't it? Look how cool Salamence is. He already looked like a flying dinosaur. He already looked like a dragon. And then they made him look like this. Iron Valiant with the Tyranitar in the background, etc. Do you want a Tyranitar is one of probably the top 10 Pokemon of all time, top 15, or do you want this green dildo looking thing? Honestly, again, people are going out now and they're going, oh, Destined Rivals is 1700 quid a case. Oh, Paldea Evolved is 1500 quid a case. Well, I can get a Paradox Rift case for about 1100. It's a good buy because it's all going to go up. Yes, but if this doubles in price from 1,000 to 2,000, and Paldea Evolved goes 4x from 1,500 to 6 grand, why would you buy? You're only buying this because it's cheap at the moment. If someone says there's £1, you want £2, yeah, you do. If someone says, oh, here's a tenner, do you want 20? Yeah, you do. But if you're spending 1,000 and it doubles to 2, or you could spend just half of that again. If you spend 1,000, you can find 1,500. I'm sorry. And then what if that case goes to 6,000? Do you want to look back and go, oh god, because I was a bit stingy 5 years ago, I've doubled my money when I could have like 4x'd it. Don't be stingy now. Back your opinion, back what you think, and I promise you, if a set comes out in 4 years' time, and there's a Salamence crazy looking card and a Gallade or Gardevoir crazy looking card, and then the next set, similar price, you're like, oh, that's got set skyrocket. It's already 300 at launch, or I could come back here and, I could buy this box for 300. You would never buy robot and dinosaur Pokemon. Don't do it. It's terrible. Anyone telling you that it's not terrible, they're deluded. I promise you. It's an F tier set. Oh, why did that do that? It's an F tier set. Paldean Fates. This is where we're going to get interesting. Personally, we said earlier on that if any set has got a big card in, it can do well over time. Again, be that base, be it Skyridge, be it Evolving Skies. If there's one big card, the rest of the set doesn't always matter. And for me, Mew EX, Bubble Mew, is the greatest card in this block. Prices might not reflect it. The Umbreon is there, blah, blah, blah. But I promise you, when you look back, if eventually, Evolving Skies is always going to be a little bit more. The Evolving Skies Umbreon is 2.5 and the Prismatic Umbreon is 2. There's always going to be that thing, and it's like, well, it's got potential to overtake. It will never overtake because it's a crystal-looking body and a stupid crown. It could never do as well. But Mew doesn't have a silly crown. Mew isn't crystallized. If you look at old Mews, the Mew Gold Star, the Koro Mew, shiny blue Mews, they are super popular and stand the test of time. This is a card I had in Japanese. I sold it to my brother at £45. It's now probably worth 150, 160. It is the only big card, apart from probably the Magikarp, where I looked at and considered buying a couple and saying, right, you know what, I've got a valuable slab here. Mew's, at the time, I think Mew was probably 250, 310. I could sell this decent slab and buy 3 of them. And now you can buy one and have a pocket change. That Gardevoir to me is better than the one in base. So if you're buying base because of the Gardevoir line only, to me that's the better Gardevoir. I still don't like the Charizard. I don't like the crown. I don't like the glass. I don't like the crystal. But if you said to me now, I'm going to give you a free card. Yeah, Pompey, come over it. I like you. You speak no shit. You take no prisoners. I'm going to give you a reward. You don't scam people with YouTube memberships. You don't scam people at card shows. You don't go on whatnot and rob people blind, pulling their trousers down and abusing them for free cash. I like you. You can have this Charizard or this Charizard. I'm picking the black one all day long. I'd then sell it immediately to someone else because I don't like it. But I just think this set, it will never be as good as 151 in people's minds, and it shouldn't be. But if you get the right baby shiny, even some of the IRs, what was it? The IRs in we said earlier. There was a Veluza, the metal fish. Who is ever going to want the metal fish IR in their life? If you're a Lucario fan, that's a crazy looking Lucario baby shiny. There are ways that this card can be fun to open down the line. There are some Gen 1ers in there, which is always helpful going forward. If you let's say pack prices down the line, most Diamond and Pearl Heart Gold Soul Silver packs now are 100, 150 quid each. Let's say one day all of these Scarlet and Violet sets get there. If you've just paid 150 quid for a pack and you can pull out a God, what was another awful card we said? Not even awful, but if you can pull out a Fido who no one cares about, and you're like, God, it's probably worth, even in 5 years' time, it's probably worth 12 quid. Or you can pull a giant big Mew or Alakazam and you get it graded. What's going to look better graded? What's going to have more potential to sell to people? I like this set. Low key. I was going to collect Tandem Mouse and Mousehold as well. So I quite like it for that reason too. But I like Paldean Face, and I think it's got the best set, the best card of the entire generation in. It will never reflect that, and for that reason, it should probably go A. But if they do a reprint of Pokemon Center ETBs, if they do a reprint of booster bundles, and you can buy a sealed case of it for retail, or personally, I don't think the Charizard in 151 is ever gonna go absolutely batshit to the moon. It will always be popular because of the nostalgia that will come in. But I think the Bubble Mew will end up being better long term. If you said to me now, you can have a Pokemon Center ATB and a sealed booster bundle case of either one of these sets for, let's be realistic here, let's say for 800 quid, I'd probably put 800 quid into Paldean Fates before I did 151 at the moment. That might be a controversial take, but I think it's got the best card of the entire generation in, and that's why I like it. So that's what we'll go with. The next set is Temporal Forces, and you know where this is going, people. Do I need to say anything? This generation, we're gonna do glass-looking crowns. Thank you, Pokemon. That's something I really want to collect. I really want a mincy crown on my Charizard. Oh, and now we're going to add some robots and some dinosaurs because that's what people really want. No, thank you. And we come down here. Think of the Suicune Raikou Entei in Crown Zenith. And down here, we get monstrosities. Look, Pineapple Entei, Gouging Fire. Velociraptors are cool in Jurassic Park. I don't want my Suicune to look like one. Look at these. These three, Virizion, Cobalion, Terrakion, they're not even popular. And now let's give them worse versions in robot form. Are you joking? Gouge and Fire, look, people might say it's cool artwork with all the trees in there. People might go, oh yeah, oh look at it, so much detail. Yeah, but give me that detail on a Suicune card. The Suicune in Crown Zenith is better. But let's say they do a set in the next block, and the third set of the block, the three dogs are in there in their original form, and it makes a connecting artwork. You're going to want that over Giraffe, Diplodocus, Raging Bolt, Raikou. It is a terrible set, again. If people are saying it's a great price right now, you can get a case for about 1,000. Yeah, you can. But pay that little bit more. Get the Surgeon Sparks case for 1,300. Surgeon Sparks will age better. It's just a fact. Pikachu's still got a crown, but it's Pikachu. No one's going to want an iron crown, an iron boulder, a gouging fire, and iron leaves. It's a terrible set being recommended by people, who are just getting it cheap. Everything's expensive at the moment. They're buying something cheap. Yeah, it's going to go up in value. But again, if it doubles in value in the next 3 years and a Twilight Masquerade 3Xs, you should have paid that little bit extra and got Twilight Masquerade. It's just how I see it. Like, I can't really say anything more than that. This is going to be a long video and no one's going to watch it. But my battery is dying, so I'm going to have to try and plug it in. Right. The next one is Twilight Masquerade. There's two opinions on this set. I'm in the middle. Everyone says that, even I've said it here, if there's one good chase card, it can really help a set. The problem is, I've hated Greninja since it was first launched, first shown off. I do not like it. In the games, I liked Brokey, but his final evolution, when it was announced, my god, I hated it. I couldn't believe how they turned that dopey looking frog into this ninja thing. So, for those of you who like Greninja, it's a great card to have in the set to take it forward. But it's no Giratina from Lost Origin, it's no Lugia from Silver Tempest, it's no Moonbryon from Evolving Skies, it's no Bubble Mew from Paldean Fates. Like, that being said, enough people like the set because of the Greninja. It has that step up on some sets. I don't like that it's Hisuian Growlithe, but the 2-part Growlithe card I think is going to age incredibly well. Infernape, it's a cool looking artwork. Every thing with starter Pokemon is somewhere along the line it's going to be someone's starter, and that dose of nostalgia helps at any card. No one cares about a Dipplin, no one cares about a Wattrel. There's going to be a generation of kids whose first game was that gen, whose first final evolution starter was an Infernape, and for that it can carry it. There are some sleeper hits. I hate Tatsugiri. Enough of the influencers seem to be pumping it. The Eevee card is great. I always knew that the Espeon Infusion Strike would do well because it wasn't in Evolving Skies and people would want it. I always knew that the collection boxes of Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon would do well because it wasn't in the set of Evolving Skies. If you're pumping Prismatic, if you're loving Prismatic, you need this Eevee. Because the Eevee on the food tray, the Eevee with the crowns, the glass type, looks absolutely ass. And I've speculated. There's an Eevee for every evolution, and then, oh god, where did that go? They just so happen to be playing with a Hydreigon toy. Is that a tease that there's a Dragon type evolution coming soon? If that ever did happen in the next gen, you watch people come back for this card. I think there's enough little cards in there that this is a little bit better than middle of the road. All of the masks are what killed this set. As a display piece, if this had Greninja on the front even, it would have been great. But it's got that green Ogerpon. Absolutely terrible. People, obviously, they go crazy for the Carmine. Fair play. She's a young brunette. If you're the kind of people who like the Japanese lot who like that, then great. A Pokemon card with an egg on. And it's not even an execute. I don't understand. But the girl cards do well. The Eevee, the Greninja. And I do like the Hisuian Growlithe. There's enough cards in there that I can see it doing well. I do have a box of this. I got it on sale from not on sale. There's a discount code for the Pokemon Centre. I ended up getting my box for £123. You can't moan at that. I would put that B tier. You know what? That's a 1-card set. Greninja, Eevee, couple of girls that will carry it forward, Hisuian Growlithe. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I've brought a box of this. I'll put it as A tier. Maybe you think Paldea's better. I can completely get that. I'm going to pass some time here. Shrouded Fable is terrible. Stellar Crown is terrible. I'm not even going to speak about them. That's absolutely shocking. We're going to speed up a bit here. Surgeon Sparks, I believe it would probably be an A tier set. Do we think it should be A tier? Yeah, it should be. I believe this is the second best main set of the block. But to me, S tier is for the holiday sets because they're going to do better than the main sets in this block. It's going to be the first time ever there's going to be a really big shift into that, I believe. Surgeon Sparks is better than Twilight Masquerade. I also have a box of this. Fun fact, S Parks, that's me, Stu Parks. It literally had my name on it. How could I not buy this set? I wasn't too enamoured with Arsehole Pikachu, but it is still Pikachu. There's always going to be Pikachu collectors. There's always going to be people who are going to chase every Pikachu. And if you buy into this in a break in 5 years' time, packs are 80 quid, something stupid like that, and you pull that Pikachu, the chase of the set, you're going to be sat there going, get in. So you have to appreciate it. Not great other cards. I like the Feebas and Milotic. Latios are obviously sleepers. You've had Gold Stars, you've had your EX cards, you had the Big Love Heart in Sword and Shield. Nope, Sun and Moon even. They are low key. They'd never appear on my top 10, top 15 Pokemon, but I think for a lot of people they would. And whatever sets they in tend to do well. So you take forward, it's Pete. Look, there it is, Arsehole Pikachu. It almost looks like he could be like in a room with Christmas decorations, and it's not a crown. It almost gets away with it. Hydreigon's coming up in black and white. Latios, Feebas Milotic are a great line. The Pikachu's a good chase card. It's still got crowns, it's still got the glass Pokemon, it still sucks. But I think we can all agree that a Pikachu, a Latios, and Milotic is quite cool. It's better than Robot Gallade, Robot. God, I can't think of his name. The Iron Hands one. It's better than Dinosaur Dogs. And that is Charizard only. At least it's got a few more other bits. I'm happy to pull it at A tier. This is the stuff that I wish I had. This is the stuff that I have brought a box of. That's the one card wonder. It's a good base set. There is a lot of drivel in this generation. I'm going to skip now to Journey Together because it is a main set. Journey Together, you ain't going to like this opinion. It's an A tier. It's an A tier because I've put my money where my mouth is. I had more, but I've got an ETB, Pokemon Center ETB, and a box of it. I liked it enough to at least do that. Do you know what it doesn't have? It doesn't have crowns. It doesn't have glass-looking Pokemon. They kicked it away. Journey Together, they went, finally, this is complete ass. We need another gimmick. They brought back trainer Pokemon. Now, did they bring back the best trainer Pokemon? It's for you to decide. But the Japanese especially, have got a massive hard-on for Lily. And Brock is a character in the set. And N. N is probably, with Giovanni, the most popular male character. Obviously, N's coming back in black and white. It's going to do well. Lily could have been on a card with anyone, but it's a Gen 1 Pokemon. That does well for it. Iono, she is this gen's top girl. If you like the Carmine, if you like the pairing, I assume you like Iono better than all of them. Iris is also quite a big character. I also like that I think the full arts in this gen, especially the Crown full arts, are terrible. Just like there's Crown Gyarados with a white background. Looks terrible. At least if you like Zoroark and N, they're on the same card. My kid collects Zacian and Zamazenta. Hops are absolute belling, but I'd rather have a trainer on it as something extra. The Salamence looks plain. The Dum Dum Sparse looks plain. The trainer adds a little bit, although to me, I always loved them Mufasa rares. It looks like when Mufasa was in the sky. For me, the Salamence is a great card. The Lily's Clefairy, I can see why it's popular, and obviously there's the old Japanese promo card. Zoroark and N are gonna age well together. If it was Zoroark on his own, you probably wouldn't be as keen because N's in it. I think there's potential. My kid collects Zacian, so that's another thing that this set's going for it. There's just no crowns, and there's no glass Pokemon. And then you look down here, there were box toppers in the enhanced boxes. I'm not going to get into that whole debacle. Americans love the non-enhanced box. Europeans love the enhanced box because it's different rarity in different area. If you can buy a case of enhanced for, say, 1200 or a case of non-enhanced for 1200, you're getting the same 36 packs in each box, and in 6 of the boxes you'll get an extra promo card. You'd have to buy that. Reshiram is massive. Reshiram is very nice. Reshiram with N is another bonus. The 2 Reshiram cards come in the black and white rare and the colourful effect special illustration rare in black and white. I think it's going to see Reshiram cards getting pumped. Forest's quite cool, just the realism. Controversial opinion, the Magikarp is the best illustration rare of this block, non-textured illustration rare. Wailord is a close second, in my opinion. For me personally, would I pay, what's a Magikarp Raw? Would I pay £200 for one? No, I don't think it's worth it. If it would be worth it if it guaranteed me a 10, but to get one with a nick, no. Would I do a binder page of 9 of these for about 150 quid? I could do just for a laugh. It's like the Jaws artwork with the big sea creature coming up. It's like all the sea monster films that I love. There's a card in Sorcery with a boat and a big whale, a big shark octopus. For me, it's a great artwork. And the Articuno is possibly the best Articuno card of all time with the Fossil Hollow. I think this is a great set. I think it's underrated. It's sandwiched between 2 great sets, Prismatic and Rivals, so it got forgotten about. But when people go back and they go Crown Crystal, Dinosaurs, Crown Crystal, Robots, you're going to get 2 popular people with a Brock in there as well. You're going to get some popular Pokemon like Clefairy and Reshiram and Articuno. I think it's going to do very well. Then we're on to Prismatic Evolutions. I'm not going to go too crazy on Prismatic Evolutions. My computer has now frozen. Do you think it's a D tier? No. Do you think it's a B tier? No. Do you think it's an S tier? Yes. Personally, if you said to me now, you can buy, I don't even know how much they are. Say they're £400. They're not, but say they're £350 a box for a Pokemon Center ETB. 350, 7, 14. You can have £1,400 on a case of these sealed, paid a premium for a Pokemon Center ETB case, or you can buy a £1,400 box of Evolving Skies. I'd buy Evolving Skies. If you said to me, oh, there's an Evolving Skies with a little dent on eBay, it's on bids, it's at £12.50. I'd rather have a dented box of Evolving Skies at £12.50 than a case of 10 ETBs of this for, say, 1,000, 1,100. The cards are worse. You've got Moonbreon. I don't like Moonbreon, but you've got Moonbreon up a cathedral looking at the moon. You've got Leafeon in a field, big bale of hay, looks like the English countryside. You've got Sylveon sat there, absolutely ginormous. There's a Vaporeon in it, there's a couple of Eevees in it. All of the cards look better than green card with Leafeon, Crown and Glass. Black card, Umbreon, Glass and Crown. Sylveon, pink card, Glass and Crown. Evolving Skies is so far superior, it's what you should be buying. But if you're going, I'd rather have 10 items appreciating value rather than 1 item appreciating value, I can get that. I've got 5 Pokemon Center ETBs of this set, all at retail price, $54.99 on Pokemon Center. It's silly not to buy at that price, but I honestly cannot recommend this over Evolving Skies. But do I believe, where are we on some ETBs? The value alone is probably about a £4,000, £5,000 total set value at the moment. Evolving Skies is probably slightly higher than that. This will keep getting reprinted. Evolving Skies won't, so it will drop. Even if it's settled at a $4,000 mark and Evolving Skies stayed at 6 for the foreseeable, eventually, if Evolving Skies packs are 30 now, you could say in the same time these could get to £25 a pack. You're only going to. But if you've got money and you want to spend £10,000 on one set and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to drop 10 grand on Prismatic, you're a muppet. You'll have less product, but you'll do better over time with Evolving Skies, I'm certain. Do not like the crowns, do not like the glass Pokemon, and all the other Pokemon inside it. People are going, oh yeah, look at the Roaring Moon. It's sick. It's Roaring Moon. I wish it was Salamence. People are starting to talk about the, I don't even know what it's called, the gold Pokemon. I've always called it the gold dildo. Honestly, I don't know what I'm saying. People are starting to go, it's just such an iconic artwork. No, it's not. It's trash. You're never going to go back and go, oh, I think I'll get that Pokemon over a Celebi, a Mewtwo, a Blastoise, a Charizard. It's an awful Pokemon. People are just hyping this set up to fill their pockets. And it is a good set, but it's not Evolving Skies. Destined Rivals. This one is going to be... It's in the A tier because I've also put my money where my mouth is and brought some. I've got Pokemon Center ETB, a normal ETB, 2 booster boxes. I won't have any more. I've stopped buying. But it will be set of the block in terms of non-holiday sets. It will beat Surgeon Sparks. It will beat Paldera Evolved. How can you say that? The Magikarp is so great. Yeah, but that's the only card in the set that's got anything going for it. The Mewtwo was bad. We said about the Groudon and the Tyranitar giving like old man posing on a dating site kind of pose. Mewtwo is crotch level with Giovanni's eyes. It's like, here, Giovanni, look at what I'm packing. I just can't understand these weird poses. I honestly can't get it, but over time, it came out, oh, it's disappointing, oh, it's not as good. But people are going to look back and go, do I want a Greninja that looks like a Splatoon background? Do I want a giraffe-looking Raikou? Do I want even N Zoroark? It's got N in, but Zoroark. People are always going to look at Giovanni and Mewtwo. It's going to go up. People didn't want to buy the Moonbreon at 400, then they didn't want to buy it at 600, then they didn't want to buy it at 950. Now people are scrambling to buy 1100, 1200 to try and get the 10 and double the price. If this card doesn't exponentially go up over the next 3-4 years, I'll be mega shocked. I don't like the Moltres card, really. I don't like cards with trainers in, I'll be honest. That was my main thing. They got rid of the crowns, they got rid of the crystals, they got rid of the robots, they got rid of the dinosaurs, and every single card has a trainer in. The Crobat's got the grunt in, Moltres has got a trainer in, even the Wobbuffet promo, it's got the trainers. I would prefer just to have I'm a Pokemon card collector, I'm not a human character collector, and that's just me. But you go down, the Moltres, the Mewtwo, obviously you've got Cynthia and Garchomp. It's just stacked full of Pokemon that they might not be top tier. Like, I wouldn't say Garchomp is a top tier Dragon Pokemon. But Christ, it's a damn sight better than any of the Pokemon from like modern generations that they've brought out as the big Max Collider we said earlier, didn't we? Would you rather have Garchomp or that line? Like, you'd have that all day long. It also has going for it Meowth, Kangaskhan, popular. Misty is popular and it's got 2 Gen 1 Pokemon again. Typhlosion, Gen 2. There's so much Gen 1, Gen 2 nostalgia. Popular characters like Misty, Giovanni, Cynthia. It is the best set of the block, and people are going, oh, it's going down in value. Again, Nidoking, Ho-Oh, they're Gen 1, Gen 2, big Pokemon. People are going, oh, the set value's dropping. Yeah, it is dropping. And it should drop for the first year or two, but then it's going to start rising. And eventually, if Prismatic settles at around 445, say, and this settles at, it starts to go back up to 2.6, 2.8, some people will just be like, I don't want ETBs, they're too big. I want booster boxes. Booster boxes are proven. I want booster boxes. And those people, they're going to avoid Paldea, they're going to avoid 151, they're going to avoid Prismatic, and they are going to go into Destined Rivals. And it's a better play than Crystal. Giovanni is better than N. Mewtwo is better than Zoroark. Misty is probably more popular than Lily to the English crowd, I would say. It's just a better set all round. I'm more confident in that. And then this one. People are saying this is the set that's going to tank the market. Black and White isn't popular, so it must be an F tier. I would argue what they've done with it, 151 had a few SIRs and IRs. They should have done 151 every single card, like they have with this, should have had it. Now, yes, the starters in 151 will always be better than the starters here. The legendaries, just because of age, Mew and Mewtwo, the legendary birds, will always be more popular than Reshiram, Zekrom, and Tornadus, Thunderous, Landorus, etc. I think it will do very well just because I think pull rates, and no one knows at the moment, I think pull rates are going to be generous. You can drop 300 quid on packs of Prismatic and pull not one SIR, and no IRs, there were none in the set. You'll drop 300 quid on Black Bolt White Flare. You'll probably get double the amount of packs at the start, and you'll probably pull 2 SIRs and 6 IRs. The new rarity looks good to me. The black one looks like carbon fiber. I really like this set. It's too early to tell. It's probably A tier because it doesn't have the nostalgia of 151, Evolutions, and Mew. But based on the set, both sets, every single Pokemon has an IR card. You're going to get a card of a Pokemon you absolutely hate. Like, there are Pokemon down here you absolutely hate. And you look at the card and it's like the dog in the window. I don't like Fido. It's not a card of chase, but you look at that, a bun dog looking in a bakery window, and you're like, that's great artwork. And there's going to be random Pokemon in here that you might have had in your team on the game. Or, for me, I like Excadrill. Excadrill's just a Pokemon that it came out, every playthrough I've ever done, it's ended up being in my team. And there's an SIR of it. And it's cheap in Japanese. The SIR is a $5. So say in English it's 10, 15. I'll buy that one card just because I've got an affinity with Excadrill. I think everyone's going to get a couple of cards from this set. But if you pull that Reshiram or Zekrom, black or white card, you're going to be doing cartwheels. If the Victini, the red card, is in this set, you're going to be doing cartwheels. If you pull any of the SIRs, the Hydreigon, the Zekrom, the Reshiram with like the rainbow effect, I think it's going to come out. People are going to assume it's a worse set. I've seen people putting this as F tier. I've seen people putting it as C tier. To me, I will put a little bit of money into it. I've got one of each TB from the Pokemon Center, and I've got a booster bundle of each. That's my last products I'm buying. I think we'll look back and it'll be an S tier set. So that's me. I think there was a lot of drivel in this set, in this generation. You know what? If you've got this far, I would put Scarlet and Violet as a D tier. Paldea, I'm going to go controversial here. Paldea and Twilight, I think, are just below Surge and Sparks and Journey Together. This is the original that you saw. This would be my, if you're going to be investing, which I think is dumb to say. I didn't invest in Pokemon cards. I was an adult. I bought myself a house. There you go. There's my advice. Buy property. Don't invest in Pokemon cards. Like, what are you doing? But this is my, if you're going to buy and hold, S tier, A tier, B tier, down to never ever buy these at all. If we're talking just how I rate each set from a popularity standpoint, I think Scarlet and Violet isn't as great as everyone says. Paldea is a 1 card set. Twilight is a 3, 4, 5 card set. And I would put Black and White up with those. That would be how I finish there. That is basically my tier list, how I would do it at the moment. I've never closed OBS off, so this could be a nightmare here. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope someone actually sat and watched it. That would be good. I'll see you all later. That was my no bullshit, how I see it. Don't trust the Pokemon investor channels who are telling you to buy the Charizard set, buy the future Pokemon, buy the dinosaur Pokemon. It's all rubbish. Paldea is doing well right now, but when other sets get to that age and aren't getting reprinted anymore, I could see Twilight overtaking it, etc. That was my opinion. I'll see you all later, and goodbye.